Good evening, everybody. Okay. So it's been a long day. We started our day at probably the people who came in the morning. We started a day in the morning from the customer perspective. We started our day in the afternoon. So till now, how was the session? Informative? Okay. Quick raise on the hands in the terms of the people who are seeing the presentation for the first time on the Fujitsu product. Product presentation the first time. Okay, good. Okay. Some exercise would you do over here? Would you please mind just coming in front because there are too many chairs absolutely vacant in between. Please, the gentlemen on the last benches, just take the first 2 or 3 rows. It will be great to see your faces. Chalk one-on-one. Make this session interactive. And I promise that this will be the best session as compared to the other sessions happening on the track. Okay? Good. The people sitting at the back still? Yeah, please. Very good. Great. Yeah, get settled anywhere. It's yours. Don't occupy the last seat, please. Front seats. Yep. Walk in. Thank you so much. Well, the people do not know me. My name is Mehul Doshi. I'm responsible for the product business in Fujitsu India. Been 22 years of work experience overall and been 7 years young in Fujitsu. I was been introduced over here. I live, born and brought up in Mumbai. My most favorite pastime is Bollywood films. I write critics and music is my hobby and that's about me. So it will be easier for you to understand me or interact with me during the sessions which is going on over here. And please do stop me or just raise your hand in case if you have questions in between. I'll be more than glad to talk about what's your queries all about. So the gentlemen, since there are many hands who are seeing the presentation for the first time on Fujitsu, let me talk first about Fujitsu. I didn't see a slide since morning talking who is Fujitsu all about. So here it is. Who are we? Headquarters in Japan. Started our operations in 1938. Turnover of almost 40 billion. We are a profitable organization. We do profit worth of 100,000 million. 3.8% of our revenue. We put it back on R&D, extremely important, vital, which I want you to focus upon. And we have more than 97,000 patents which we have registered in the name of Fujitsu. So, when you talk about these numbers, it's extremely impressive. Very few organizations can talk about such numbers in which talking about making a 40 billion type of turnover and still becoming profitable year on year. Largest IT vendor in Japan, 5th largest in the world. We do everything in ICT. Whatever you can think about, what is there in ICT, be it servers, be it storage, be it desktop, be it laptop, be it Celsius, be it workstations, be it services, be it consulting, be it SAP, Oracle, anything you think about, we do it all. So I have a quick slide on the same. 156,000 employees across the globe. We are very proud to say that Fortune has rated Fujitsu consecutively for the last 4 years the most admired organization to work with. Okay? So that's the CV of the organization which I work upon. Impressive? Thank you. Our global data centers. The reason of putting this slide is data center is my business. It's not that I'm a supplier to database. I own the data. I own the data centers. It means right from the build, probably the product, from the services, from the software, whatever it goes in data center, I know it extremely well. It's my business. So I proudly say data center is my business, okay? So that's the more than 100 data centers across the globe. Service, we speak 32 different languages and we've been growing. It means if you're talking about putting up a service desk of a large customers of yours, wherein he has offices across the globe in different locations, and if he's talking about putting up a service desk, yes, we do that services in different languages, be it Romanian, be it Deutsch, be it Irish, be it any of the languages. We speak most of those languages, 32 languages across the globe to set up a help desk centers. This is a part of MIS offering. I just mentioned that ICT is the global portfolio I'm talking about. The stream talks about be it servers, be it storage, be it industry-specific products, client computing devices, the entire range of products, okay? Anything and everything which you can think about of buying in, you can buy under one umbrella. You're talking about integrated solutions, which I'm going to talk, for which the session is here right now, software, network, and product-related services, everything under one umbrella. On top of this, if you're talking about end-user services, data center services, you're talking about putting up a service desk, technical support, infrastructure services, we provide end-to-end services also over here. So please make a note. It's not only the product which we are putting up over here, it's all of the services. The third layer, talk about business application services. When I talk about business application services, I'm talking about working with alliance partners like SAP, Oracle, Microsoft, Salesforce, right from selling the licenses to deployment, to installations, to migration, to putting up the product lifecycle management, we do it all. That's the business application services. Last but not the least is the business solutions, industry solutions, and innovative solutions. That's industry-specific vertical solutions which we carry in through. So that's the portfolio of Fujitsu Global ICT, okay? Products which I'm responsible for in the country. Come, gentlemen. Take your front seats. There is no special rate on balcony. You can come. This is data center. Absolutely, sir. Come. On the left, you can see the product. On the left, you can see the product business which is coming up over here, which is more of a client computing product devices. Be it peripherals, desktops, LCS workstations, be it IoT products, devices, you can see it all in the booths outside. So a range of displays which has been put up over here. On the right hand side, you can see the data center piece of business, wherein we sell servers, we sell storage, we sell integrated solutions, which I'm going to talk upon. And in terms of the industry solutions, we have high performance computing, we have big data, and we have SAP HANA. That's a solution which we have and make it into country. A slide on managed services. On MIS, we're talking about data center services offering in over here. We're talking about end user services, infrastructure as a services, RIM management. On professional services, we're talking about integration of most of the third-party products, be it virtualization, be it backup softwares, be it virtual cloud, be it product platform integration, be it any of those services. We have a team of more than 3,000 people within the country to give you a support on any of the services. Be it whatever the platform, we have the expertise to do so. Last slide in terms of, before going to the data center piece of business, is the BAS, which is Business Application Services slide. As I've mentioned, the alliance partner which we work upon, SAP, Microsoft, Salesforce, ServiceNow, and Oracle, and anything what you can think about on any of these vendors, be it buying licenses, be it buying services, be it doing installations, be it doing integrations, be it doing data migration, or be it doing a product lifecycle management, we do it all over here, okay? So that's the range of services on business applications which we put in upon over here. Few customers, in terms of the industry-wide customers. So in case if you fall in one of the customer Band, talking about retail, we have specific expertise on the retail, financial services, transport, logistics, utilities, health. I'm not going to talk and name all the customers over here. But be it whatever sector, we're talking about giving you a focused appliance or a focused solution or a focused service to your industry, to your organization. We can tailor-made and customize. Next few slides, I'm going to talk about only doing a tailor-made and customized solutions which can be applicable and make you to run much more faster as compared to any of your competitive organizations in your markets. So, a few names over here which are appearing. And this was the brief about Fujitsu, capabilities and the services, the managed services portfolio, the BaaS portfolio, and the product portfolio. I'm not going to talk, gentlemen, more on the servers, more on the storage. There is a team which is coming up after the session going to talk about deep dive on the storage. Extremely beautiful line of product. A gentleman coming in from Germany, his name is Marcus, sitting right at the back, is going to take you to extremely good slides in terms of all flash, but I'm not going to steal away the thunder over here. He has extremely good things to talk about. So let me talk about the PRIMEFLEX, for which we are all sitting in this room. What is PRIMEFLEX? You can see this box. Well, PRIMEFLEX is an appliance. Appliance which is a combination of an hardware, a software, and services, all put together into one box. When I say hardware, it's a piece of servers, it's a piece of storage, it's a piece of networking, it's a piece of the hypervisor, it's a piece of switching. Anything which you can put up across into an hardware, it is clubbed all together, and then it is integrated with our services to give you an overall performance for a ready-made solution. What are the solutions? Before, what are the solutions? Why do we look upon? The customers, the common challenge is in India, budget nahi hai. The customers you're talking about, reduced budgets, you are running in silos, which is aging infrastructures, legacy systems, insufficient storage, rationalization of space, consolidation and virtualization. It means if you were running in silos in the past, and if you're talking about putting up a consolidated environment in your organization, this is something what you can look upon. And the most important, which we talk about, is the speed at which you can look upon with the security provided on a single pane. So, this is the reason customers, why you should look upon putting up a PRIMEFLEX in your organization. PRIMEFLEX value proposition. What's that? Fast. Extremely fast. You can have from 2 VMs to 200 VMs or from 200 VMs to 2400 VMs, not in few months, not in few weeks, but in few hours or few minutes. I mean it. Okay, how? I'm going to talk about the next slide. Extremely reliable because the machine is being pre-configured in a factory which is based out of Germany, tried and tested, and before it's getting shipped out to our country, it is tested. So when it comes in over here, it's a completely reliable end-to-end solution. You just have to host your VMs, and that's it. The application is up and running in over here. Simple in terms of it's a structured bilay in which you're talking about putting up a structure of primary servers, an internal servers, or a NetApp servers, brocade switching, along with your hypervisors, which you prefer, be it Microsoft, be it VMware, along with the entire gamut of product. It's completely structured and modular approach. Last but not the least, affordable. Each of the solutions, so probably if you talk about, because in Indians we said, "Arey, let me buy A from here, B from here, C from here, Z from here. Let me integrate it myself and it will be the cheapest solution." No. I can give you in writing that the solution which you're talking about, buying in from 4 people together, integrating it yourself, and then doing a try and test run, and then running it through, this solution will be nothing less, bare minimum 40% more cheaper. It starts with 40, few solutions go to 90% more cheaper. So that's the type of scale at which you can save money, and I believe, and I can prove it on this. In a regular approach, which I mentioned over here, you know, what thing happens over here, if you want to pick up a virtualization as a topic, so what you will do, okay, let's go and set up the BOM for VMware or set up a BOM for Microsoft hypervisor. Okay, the BOM is set, let me negotiate, okay, I have negotiated and this is the PO. Okay, fine. Let me go to the servers. I need to buy servers for the same. Let me call a server vendor. Let me put up a price to this. I have bought a servers. Depending upon the scaling of the servers, I buy the servers, and okay, the server PO is here. The server is supposed to come in 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it is. Okay, what I'll do for the storage? Let me buy a Fujitsu storage or a NetApp storage or whatever the storage. Again, the same discussion. You scale, you configure, you figure it out. What is the storage which goes in over here? You buy the storage. Again, 6-8 weeks delivery. Last but not the least, you are going to put the whole project together. After 6 weeks, everything is going to come. Then you find your IT guy. Oh, Mr. IT guy, can you integrate all these things along with a switch? Sir, this switch doesn't work. We'll have to buy a new switch. Okay, let me put a new switch again. By the time the entire project goes live, it takes minimum 2 months, or it can go to 6 months, 4 months, depending upon the capabilities, the way in which you plan through. Over here, when you talk to a single vendor, it's a single contract which we work upon. It means when you're talking about 200 VMs to me, or when you're talking about an SAP HANA box from me, or when you talk about a Hadoop box from me, it's actually sized as per the requirement. When it comes in over here, it's up and running in 15 minutes or few hours. Look at the time gap. By the time you place a PO after negotiating with me, you're talking about getting a system into your warehouse or into your data center in 4 weeks and up and running in 15 minutes or 1 hour. That's the beauty of the system. The go-to market is extremely fast over here. That's the reason I mentioned over here. Few flavors of PrimeFlex. Why should you buy PrimeFlex for? What should you buy PrimeFlex for? SAP HANA. Organizations going in for SAP and its SAP infrastructure landscape should look upon buying in for PrimeFlex. For virtualization, virtualization could be within hypervisor, Microsoft hypervisor. You want 200 VMs, you have 2000 VMs, you have scalable VMs. You want to scale up your VMs today and grow big, customer should look upon this solution. Private cloud, the person who's talking about putting up a private cloud or a public cloud or a hybrid environment who wants to go to the cloud, enterprise PrimeFlex, which is available over here. For big data analytics, for high performance computing, for high availability desktop virtualization, Microsoft. You have a PrimeFlex for everything what you can think upon. And for the hybrid application which are beyond this, if you still want something to be kept over here, it's an open source PrimeFlex which you can still build for yourself. So that's the PrimeFlex offering in over here. The portfolio which I'm going to talk about is quickly. There are 2 types of PrimeFlex. First is converged, second is hyper-converged. When you talk about hyper-converged, this is a software enabled. It means over here you have a software layer sitting on the top, and it's 2 layers over here, which is like PrimeFlex and a PrimeFlex for a clustering box and a vSAN. On the right hand side, you're talking about a converged network wherein you will have a PrimeFlex V-shape for enterprise, OpenStack. You have an SAP HANA offering, you have a high performance computing offering, and it is a hardware based PrimeFlex. 2 variants, converged and non-converged. Quickly talking about clustering box. Any questions till now? Yeah, please. Good. I can hear you, sir. Yeah, I'll repeat your question also.
So, I was thinking of whether it's a hyper-converged solution or a converged solution.
Good.
Right, so that was answered. The other question that I have is, what competitive products that you pitch this against? Like a VCE, let's talk about a VCE product
I have a slide for that.
Yeah.
I have a slide for that. I will do that. Thank you so much. I can read your mind. I have a slide for that. Okay, cluster in a box. So again, this is a hyper-converged system, a combination of an scale-out servers, which is the Primergy CX servers, which we're putting in over here. In combination, we work upon with your Windows 2012. You can scale from 2 VMs to 200 VMs. For 200 VMs, you're putting up a system in a 2U form factor, giving you 200 VMs and a space to come in over here, managing and addressing through a single pane. 15 minutes to the virtualization, okay? 45% reduction in infrastructure cost, and that's what I'm talking about. So in case if you're working in your past on a silo infrastructure, all of that, you can put up in a cluster in the box. A ready cluster is available to you to deliver 200 VMs the way in which you're looking upon. First box, hyper-converged, software-based. Second box, flavors of VMware. Hypervisor was from Mr. Microsoft, now comes in VMware. Layers which you can see in through over here. Standard x86 servers, these are again CX servers. You're putting up a virtualization layer, which is a VMware virtualization over here. Putting up a storage, the storage could be in Eternus or could be from FAS, management layers and the VMs which you can create on over here. It's again hyper-converged over here. You're using VMware Virtual Sense 6.2. Beauty. 2-click installation. It means if you're talking about putting up 200 VMs, when it comes to your doorstep in your data center, it's a 2-click installation. Think about it, okay? When I talk about application provisioning in minutes, 40% reduction in the operating cost, 60% reduction in the system admin time. What you can cluster over here? You can cluster as many as 64 nodes. Each of the CX, which you saw in the past, which is over here, carries 4 hosts in a 2U form factor. It means 8 sockets. And you can cluster as such 8 nodes. So it means you're talking about 8 clusters. So you're talking about 64 nodes getting clustered, which has been written over here. 6.4K, 6,400 VMs what you can put in over here. 6 billion IOPS and address 8.8 petabytes of storage. Okay, this is again hyper-converged network along with the VMware which we work upon. These are the 2 hyper-converged devices which we work upon. I will come to your question probably after 3 slides from now in terms of, yeah, please. Yeah. That's right. Absolutely. All the softwares, okay, let me put it again. All the boxes which I'm going to talk about, which I spoke on the first slide, you do not have to buy an additional licenses. You do not have to buy an additional hardware. You do not have to take an additional services contract. Everything is inbuilt. It means you have only one contract. Okay, specifically works, this again doesn't have a switching network, but the slide which I'm going to talk next upon. So it will have your infrastructure, which is an server, it will have a storage, it will have a networking switch, it will have a VMware or a Microsoft, it will have a services bundle, everything under one service contract. Service contract could be for 3 years, could be for 5 years, could be for 7 years, depending upon the life cycle management which you work upon. Unique thing, when I say 7 years, there are few of the boxes which I can provide a 7 years life cycle management because I manufacture these boxes in Germany and I have a life cycle management for 7 years. These are manufactured in a Euro 3 zones. Germany. Be it my servers, be it my storage, be it any of our product which you take in from, these are all manufactured in Germany. That's the bottom line over here. Converged. This is something which I'm talking about. We're talking about the mid-enterprise segment over here, the mid-level customers over here who needs VMs from 25 VMs. Oh, sorry, I need to go back. Okay. From 25 VMs, 50 VMs, 100 VMs, and 200 VMs. It's a combination of an hardware. We are using RX servers, which is the rack servers, along with your DX or a FAS. So in case if you are a Fujitsu customer, you are also open to look upon NetApp as a storage. NetApp integrates extremely well. My colleagues are going to talk about few slides in NetApps coming in moments over here. Brocade is a partner which we work upon. Combination of either VMware or Microsoft, inclusive of all the professional services. So this is a total bundle when it comes to you. So customer, again, it's a plug and play. Look at the time reduction I'm talking about. 80% more performance, 72x more operational time. It means if you have to think about buying all these components separately to put up 200 VMs on your organization, you can think about the type of pain you're going in through. Negotiate with 4 vendors. Put it across, do a product lifecycle management for all, give a service contract for everything, match their SLAs, and then start integrating, and that comes a solution. Do I hit the go run first? No, it's still time. That's how we do it over here. And when this solution appliance comes to your doorstep, it's up and running, So you can load your application immediate. That's the difference over here. This is for the people who are going towards cloud on a similar approach. Instead of a rack, you're scaling up to a CX and a BX, which is a blade offering. A blade offering, which is the densiest offering, which we have 18 blades in a 2U chassis, which puts across storage from Eternus or from NetApp. Hypervisor could be from Microsoft or could be from VMware. And again, the value proposition talks about putting till 800 VMs or scales to 2,400 VMs. So if you're talking about putting up a cloud environment for your customer, be it private or in hybrid, in which you are making them available a power of cores and memories till 2,400 VMs, you can scale it up over here. And then later on, you can put a daisy chain, which can further go on over here. Gentlemen, Converged network appliance from Fujitsu. It includes the storage. When I talk about offering you a box, it's a rack. What I'm offering in over here, something like this, which will have a rack first, in which will have a server, it will have a storage. Servers, I'm talking about a blade chases of 18 blades or 16 blades, depending upon how many VMs you want to build through. You want to build upon certain levels of memories which you want to support to the cores. You can do that. I supply you brocade switches. I do the entire cabling. When it comes to your doorstep, you would just have to say on and install in 2-step or 3-step what I'm talking upon over here. Be it Microsoft, be it VMware, all the licenses are imbibed, bundled. It's up and running, and that's the beauty of this machines and servers. Storage is also a part of this. Storage is a part, server is a part, network is a part, service is a part of this. So whatever it takes you to go live, which otherwise you had to do at your premises to go and buy, you don't have to do anything. Okay. Even from the backup perspective, in case if you're thinking about backup, my colleagues are going to talk about probably CS200. From backup solutions also, it can be giving you backup on a parallel sides.
VMware and Microsoft hypervisor, or is it a separate hypervisor by Fujitsu? In a
Good. OpenStack.
Okay, OpenStack. Got it.
You're just on the time. OpenStack, don't want to work with Microsoft, don't want to work with VMware, don't want to work with Citrix, fine. If you want to have your own application, open source, you can build your PRIMEFLEX your way. Again, the fundamental remains the same. You have a choice of either using a BX, RX, you can put up an open source. We may or may not be able to certify because it's an open source platform, but yes, you will get the scalability, the reliability, the availability, and the affordability, what I'm talking about over here. So certain things, yes, we do. OpenStack, more than welcome. Yeah, we have to do that. So basically, it has to be when it comes to an OpenStack, it has to be a different discussion altogether. But yes, we do deliver OpenStack. OpenStack
is just the tip of the iceberg.
Correct.
Talk about the virtualization. So OpenStack.
I understand you're talking about it will be a VDX switches which will be using in between, which is
What about the hypervisor? OpenStack doesn't give you a hypervisor.
Correct.
So what hypervisor are you going to use with OpenStack?
Again, as I've mentioned over here, it could be, whatever, for example, you want to use it, whatever the hypervisor you're looking in for, whether you're talking about, there are certain open source hypervisors also, whether you're talking about buying a licensed version of an hypervisor also, you can integrate it. The objective of showing this slide is, there is no fixed rules over here to make it true. So in case if you want to come to work, in terms of you want to build up your own stack, for example, you're a developer, and you are developing a product for yourself, which you want to offer as a cloud. There are few customers in the country who have done that. They can build their own stack on a PRIMEFLEX in the same way. You want to consider licensed version for something, you want to consider open source version for something, you're free to do that. Only thing is, in the previous versions, I am giving a certified version because the machines are certified on multiple things. Open sources could be any of these things, so I may not be able to certify the performance in over here. That's a difference over here, my friend.
So hypervisor would be a
Choice, absolutely. Yeah, you have a choice.
As a customer, if I'm not having any such thing, for example, OpenStack, I should go for either VMware or Azure.
It's your choice. So if you're going in for VMware, you still have your choice. If you're talking about Microsoft, you still have your choice. If you're talking about Citrix, you still have a choice. Choice is there with you to build up the stack. I'll take you a little bit deep on this. I'll give you the white papers in case if it's there. So probably you'll understand a little bit more on this. Probably it should be there in the pen drive, but let me just check on the same. SAP HANA, I spoke about the SAP HANA over here, and quickly, customer talking about a choice, be it a standard HANA offering or be it a TDI offering, we do it all. More than 10 years of co-invention with Intel and SAP, which gives you HANA, so state-of-art solutions. It means if your organizations are talking about deploying SAP HANA licenses, again, tried, tested, which will give you the performance which SAP is talking about. Not even an inch here and an inch there. These are completely tried and tested solutions. Before leaving a factory, it will be tried and tested to all possible scales. And even if you're talking about putting up an expertise, we have a competency center, which is an SAP competence center and evangelist. So you're talking about pre or post. You want to talk about signing up a service contract in which you're talking about putting up a 24/7/365 type of a monitoring going on, we can do it all. Okay, talking about preventing maintenance, talking about managing it, patch upgrades, talking about getting a higher level of support from SAP on the softwares, you can do it all over here. So that's the PrimeFlex for HANA, which I'm talking about, and probably one more slide, few slides, and the same thing for Hadoop. Yep.
Supported by this PrimeFlex?
What are the?
DR solutions, and replication DR solutions.
Yeah.
Like Zerto or?
Can I park this question for some time because there is somebody who's showing me the board over there, and
Sure.
because there is
No worries.
on the same place there is going to be a panel discussion. So we'll have to quickly, but I will take up your discussion in case of one of my colleagues are over here. Sony, you can just take the name of the gentleman, and we can definitely give an answer back.
No problem.
I'll just park that question. DR solutions, definitely we have DR solutions. I'll try to cover it in case of the next presenter is able to do that, but yes, we do have DR solutions on the same.
Sure.
Few PrimeFlex, the partners which you work upon, as I've mentioned over here, be it SAP, be it VMware, be it Citrix, be it Red Hat, SUSE, Brocade, these are the partners which we work upon extremely close to give you the experience in which we're talking about putting up a solution to you within a few minutes, few hours, which is ready to use. So that's PrimeFlex all about, gentlemen. Few customers, in case if you think the customers have not bought, no, there's so many customers who already bought their services or the PrimeFlex machines like this, be it Royal Bank of Scotland, University of Sculphoff, Murphy Richards, few more, which are Indian customers, Mahindra & Mahindra, Asian Paints, Sterlite, SAP Labs, which is Ariba, Shriji Polymers, Bajaj Auto, Symantec, many. I can keep on going in through. So these are tried and tested solutions which all of these customers have been using in through. Again, I'm not going to talk, you can see a BCCL over here and a few other customers which have been there. So a large list of customers, in case if you're talking about references sites and stuff like those, you can also talk in over here. I should have done a little bit of a competition bashing, but I'm not going to do that. Your question over here, where do we scale and where do we put in over here? You mentioned about Nutanix. Probably this is the point which can come in over here. There are machines which we compete against Nutanix, VC, and Hewlett Packard Enterprises. I'm not going to read this slide for you, but because I'm not putting up a competition bashing session over here. But you can see under 3 years, trading history means no frameworks. That's the part of Nutanix I'm talking about. Nutanix does not have a single support contract. The people who bought Nutanix, they can put in a claim over here. VC, this is scaling. It prevents you from scaling. Most important, there's no SMB solution. It's just targeting the large enterprise solutions. And when you talk about from the Hewlett Packard solutions,
they have SMB solutions in terms of VxRail, which is a very cost-effective solution, to be honest. We have been using it and we have tried and tested it. It is not an expensive or a completely large enterprise targeted solution.
You're talking about the VC, you're talking about Nutanix?
I'm talking about VCE,
VCE, okay.
VxRail.
Okay. Try us in terms of how expensive or how cheap we are.
Yeah, we'll definitely give it a shot.
Does it? Okay. Probably these are the slide which we thought, because when we do any of this customers, what you can see in through over here, it could vary from making it a single contract or not a single contract, or who has signed this contract with you. But when you're talking from an OEM signing a single contract, in case of a partner has signed a single contract, there's a different discussion. But we, as in Fujitsu, sign a single contract with the customer over here. So probably you could be right, you could have got a single contract, but what we see in the customers which we bought in the past, I'm talking about, we found these challenges, and that's the reason we have put on the slide. It could vary. I have a slide which I can show it to you in terms of reliability, which is a third-party benchmark. I'm not showing it over here because of the consistency of the time which I have in through. Fujitsu offering to a third party, I'm going to give you the benchmark for sure before I leave this room. Fujitsu servers and the solutions, 5.2 times more reliable than HP, 6.5 times more reliable than Dell. This is a third party benchmarks, reliability survey benchmarks, international benchmarks. When you talk about third party benchmarks, again, talking about spec INT benchmarks, VMware benchmarks, SAP-ID benchmarks, talking about range and series of the benchmarks and the primary solutions which we're given through. These are all third-party benchmarks. See it yourself. I'm not talking about that I am the great and the best. Third-party benchmarks, I'll give you a paper, I'll get it printed out, and I'll show it to you. When I say I mean it, it's a German technology. It's a Japanese innovation, guys. We all know in this room, when we buy a phone or when we buy a television for our home, and when we say, oh, it's a Japanese panel, oh, sir, okay, expensive. So the point is, this is a Japanese innovation manufactured in a German factory. Even a mouse from me comes in from a German factory. They are built in a Euro 3 standards. Okay, I don't need to go a little bit more deep on this, but in case if I go to a sectorial of manufacturing the way in which we do, it's amazingly different way. Automated plants and the way in which things come in from a Shenzhen, from a China or a Shanghai or wherever it is, as compared to what comes in from a German factory differs a lot. Okay, but I can give you the benchmarks, and I will do that. Last slide, in terms of, you saw this slide, I do not have the time to talk more on this slide, but any of the solutions, in case if, again, I want to repeat the same thing what Ravi repeated over here, if you think that you are in a retail industry, you are in a police department, or you attach to this, or your power department, or your smart nation, we have end-to-end IoT solutions. I mentioned I take care of IoT also. So in case if you think that you want to put up, or you have an idea of putting up an IoT, these are extremely cheap, it's not expensive at all.